In addition to that, the Pope, the Vatican, they're walking back the fact that they met with Kim Davis. This is unheard of. I have never heard of anything like this. The Vatican is, wait a minute. We didn't meet with Kim Davis. Well, we did, but it didn't. No. We're not necessarily, don't think that we are. I've never seen this kind of squishiness. I'm telling you, folks, the left is corrupting everything it touches. It's not uplifting anything. It isn't fixing anything. It isn't strengthening anything. It is corrupting and destroying everything it touches. And look at this headline here from CBS News Chicago. Vatican source, Pope blindsided by meeting with controversial Kentucky clerk. Give me a break. Pope blindsided. You mean they don't screen the visitors? The Pope invites to... Anyway, details come. Okay, on the Pope story, here's CBS, Vatican source, Pope blindsided by meeting with controversial Kentucky clerk. Chicago Archbishop Blaise Kupich, I don't know how it's pronounced, and I'm not trying to get it wrong. The Archbishop of Chicago is on his way to Rome tonight. Before he left, he spoke out for the first time on that controversial meeting between Pope Francis and Kim Davis. The Archbishop, in essence, told CBS Eyeball chief correspondent Jay Levine not to read too much into it. No. Highly placed source inside the Vatican says the Pope was blindsided. Well, now it all makes sense. Why in the world would the Pope want to meet with anybody following the Church's teachings on homosexual marriage? Who would have even believed that could happen? The Vatican has since tried to distance Il Papa from Davis. Vatican spokesman Reverend Federico Lombardi said the Pope's meeting with Davis was not an endorsement of her decision to refuse to issue same-sex marriage license. Now, as I say, who would think that? Who would think the Catholic Church would oppose gay marriage? The Pope did not enter into the details of the situation of Mrs. Davis, and his meeting with her should not be considered a form of support of her position in all of its particular and complex aspects. Okay, that's CBS. From a deeply relieved AP, the Vatican on Friday distanced Pope Francis from Kim Davis, the focal point in a gay marriage debate in the U.S., saying she was one of dozens of people the Pope greeted in Washington, and that their encounter should not be considered a form of support for her position. After days of confusion, the Vatican issued a statement today clarifying the circumstances of the September 24th encounter with Davis. In a statement, the Vatican spokesman, Federico Lombardi, and then they repeat, the Pope did not enter into the details of the situation of Mrs. Davis, and his meeting should not be considered a form of support of her position in all of the particular complex aspects. Vatican statement made clear, says AP, that the Pope intended no validation. So, I mean, why is anybody surprised? Why would anybody think the Catholic Church supports freedom of religion? Why would anybody think that? But you know, that's not what he said on the plane during his flight back to Italy. According to Reuters back on September 28th, quote, this from Reuters, on the flight back to Rome, he was asked if he supported individuals, including government officials, who refused to abide by some laws, such as issuing marriage licenses to gays. Conscientious objection must enter into every juridical structure because it is a right, said the Pope. However, Davis's lawyer, Matt Staver, told the AP the Vatican initiated the meeting as an affirmation of her right to be a conscientious objector. He said Vatican personnel initiated the meeting on September 14th, the day she went back to work, saying the Pope wanted to meet her. He said Vatican security picked her up and her husband at their hotel and told her to change her hairdo so she wouldn't be recognized, since the Vatican wanted the meeting kept secret. Her lawyer, Matt Staver, disputed a Vatican spokesman's claims the Pope only met Davis in a receiving line. He said the couple was in a separate room with the Pope and Vatican personnel. Well, I knew all that. That's why this has been sort of confusing to me, because I knew the Pope asked to meet her. Reuters said so. Pope asked to meet her. They sent a car to pick her up. They told her to change her hairdo so she wouldn't be recognized. And then what went wrong is somebody talked about it. And so now the Pope feels the need to walk it back. I don't know if Obama called him or what happened. I have my own experiences with something like this. It used to be a late-night TV show, and I was maligned and impugned on this program. I was not on the program that night. It was another guest. And the host of the program called and apologized. And I said, "You're surely going to correct this on the air." No, this is just between you and me. You know, you're not going to correct this on the air? I mean, what was said about me was diametrically wrong and couldn't have been further from the truth. No, between you and me, I just wanted to call upon. Well, I happened to mention it on this show, and that person was livid. But I took it public. Sounds similar here. The Pope asked to meet her. Pope praises her, congratulates her, conscientious objector, whatever. But now that it's become known in the public domain, it's tough to stand behind. Here's CBS. It looks like the same story. Yeah, it's the same story. So that's that. Those are the details on the Pope's